Hey everyone, xHarbz here back again. Going to be reviewing week 15 on Draftkings. Kind of a mixed week. I'll get into what I mean by that in a second. But I played the Saturday slate pretty hard and then fired the Sunday slate slightly less than that because I thought I had more of an edge in the Saturday slate, which is kind of ironic because there's less games. But ended up getting absolutely massacred on the Saturday slate and not really anything I could do about it unless I can predict injuries, which I can't because I had a ton of Lamar Miller and would have made probably a lot of money, almost certainly a lot of money if he got 16 points or more. So not much I can do when he gets injured and he's in a great matchup and everything like that. But let's jump right in and look at the teams. So I fired the Thunderdome for the first time this year, and if you guys don't know, it's a $5,300 buy-in, 10 people, $25K to first, plays out top 3, and yeah, I basically thought I had an optimal team that had an edge in this contest, and I still think that. And if Lamar Miller didn't get injured, I believe I would have won. And I had the exact team the people who tied for first had. This Watson, Lindsey, McGuire, Anderson, Hopkins, Sutton, Njoku, Chubb, Broncos team. Yeah, I had that built as well, and I found that I liked my team slightly better and more thought I'd outscore it because I didn't think Elijah McGuire would have an insanely good game, and he basically got lucky falling into the end zone at the end there to get 15.1. But if Lamar Miller outscores him by like 1 point, I basically still win this contest, which is kind of insane. I ended up having to pivot to Landry late. I had Chubb here. I ended up having to pivot to Landry late because I figured they all had Chubb ahead of me, and I would be dead. So it didn't end up helping me because he only got 6.7, but maybe that would have given me a chance to win if he got an additional 21 points, so pretty unlikely, but you gotta swap when you have the opportunity to try to give yourself a chance to win. Anyway, let's jump right into the team. I thought Watson was probably the clear choice at QB. It was basically between Watson and Mayfield for me, and the reason I avoided Mayfield was mostly because I figured the game would be a little bit of a slower pace. He's not really used to playing in the altitude as much in Denver, and Denver's pass defense, even though it's not as good as it has been playing, I still thought they'd be solid against the rookie, and the pass rush is pretty strong, especially with Baker only standing 6 feet. It's kind of narrative-based, but I figured I'd go with Watson, especially since he has more rushing upside, and I could afford him, and he was 6,800, and he did pretty well. I also liked going Watson because I was going to pair him with Hopkins for sure, who's 100% on this contest and went ham, and I liked DeAndre Carter at 3,100. It allowed me to get a roster with Lamar Miller as well, and still fit all the other pieces I pretty much wanted. So getting DeAndre Carter here at 3,100, I thought he had pretty good chance to see an increased target share because QT was not going to play. So it was just Hopkins, Demaryius Thomas, and DeAndre Carter. And I watched a lot of film on him, and he seemed like a solid player. And it looked like they might scheme some targets based on the Cleveland game. Also, the Jets have been horrific against slot wide receivers, and if they did decide to try to double Hopkins at points, he was the one most likely to benefit, even though DT could see some extra targets as well. It's fine, but he's only 3,100. And I figured I needed 9 points to pay off, and if he fell into the end zone, no one else would have him, and it'd be a smash. He only caught 2 balls, but the second ball he caught, he basically almost pulled a Juju Smith-Schuster type play and could have scored. Sadly, I believe one of the safeties caught up to him, but he almost took it for like a 65, 70 maybe yard touchdown, and that obviously would have been insanely good. So 8.2 wasn't terrible considering all the people in front of me had Sutton, who ended up on 9.2. So Sutton cost 5,000. So Sutton outscored him by 1 and allowed me to get to Lamar Miller, who I thought was a much better play than Elijah McGuire, even though McGuire ended up with 15.1. Lamar Miller's floor is essentially around 14. Let's look at his game log besides the injury. So 16.2 against Indy, which is not a great matchup considering they just shut down, who was it, Saquon, I think. Not that that's any indication. Obviously, the games are independent of each other, but so 16.2 against Indy, 15.5 against Cleveland, who is a bad run defense, 26.7 against Tennessee, and those are the most recent. Obviously, you can go back and find games where he did worse. Denver, pretty decent run defense. except for those few times during the year when they allowed over 200 rushing yards back to back. 13.8 versus Washington, 22.3 against Miami, 19.9 against Jacksonville. So I thought it's pretty likely that he scores over 15 points. If he gets to 16, I win this because I'd have Chubb here as well. So it's kind of rough, but injuries, that's how it goes sometimes. I fired the Wildcat 4 times, and I think I had Lamar Miller on every team except for one, which was this one. And this one ended up going with no Robbie Anderson, ended up going with Herndon on this team, so that's big and very bad. I had Robbie Anderson on every other team, of course. Oh, wait, no, not on this one. So 2 teams to Robbie Anderson, but all the other teams had Lamar Miller, and kind of brutal. So, yeah, that was a pretty terrible Saturday, given the injury. I mean, I love the team. Like, I think it should win the majority of the time if Lamar Miller doesn't get injured. So, I'm not going to complain, but it does suck to lose probably the highest buy-in thing I'm going to enter on the year because of an injury. Anyway, let's move on to Sunday. Took my cash team, the 530 50-50, which I've been firing basically every week now. I went with Brady to Edelman as my QB wide receiver. I thought it was fine. Brady at 5,900 was pretty safe. I figured it'd be a higher scoring game, even though I thought the total was a bit overinflated given the public perception of the two teams. I still thought Brady would have a decent chance to go over 300 and throw a couple touchdowns. Ended up only getting 279 and 1. Not the best game from Brady, but basically all the QBs in the week did pretty poorly, besides a few, so not going to complain that much. And Edelman had some crucial drops that I was really unhappy with. 11 targets, caught 7 for 90, almost hit 100. If he doesn't drop one of those balls, he does hit 100, so it's pretty brutal. That's huge swings in other contests I had in this team, or that stack in. One with Zeke, Mixon, Samuels. I thought it was a pretty solid running back combo. Zeke's just like the nuts at running back at this point, given his role. It's just absurd. I think I saw the stat for his Whopper. It's like hitting it record levels with like some of the best running backs of all time. So Zeke was just a must in cash. Did get off him a bit in tournaments, which worked out. He only got 18.8, which basically is floor in a game where Dallas scored 0. So, oh yeah, I misspoke earlier. Then Indy didn't shut down Saquon. This kind of shut down Zeke. So, my bad there. Mixon, just the nut spot against Oakland at a way under price point of 6,100. Just seeing all the touches, home, not much better to get from there. And then Jalen Samuels in a nice spot against New England, where he was basically the cheapest exposure you get to the Pittsburgh game at 5,200. Solid spot for him there. My other wide receivers were Robert Foster and Sterling Shepard, who I expected to see some decent target volume. Foster at 4,300. Didn't see the volume I necessarily thought he should. I thought he was going to see 5 to 8 targets. He saw the floor of 5 that I foresaw there, but he ended up getting a touchdown, which is obviously very nice, and over 100 yards. He gets most of the high upside looks for the Buffalo team, with Josh Allen throwing to him. Kind of a gunslinger, honestly. He's going to run the ball more often than not, but other than that, like, he has a cannon of an arm. So Sterling Shepard, I thought, had an amazing spot at 4,400 with Odell out. He got 9 targets and caught 2. I mean, this feels like Chris Godwin when he got 10 and caught 1. It's just like the right play and just didn't end up working out. If he would have caught like half of those, it just would have been like probably like at least a 12-point day for him. And that swings a lot of things in other contests too. I had a ton of Sterling Shepard on the week, so it's pretty brutal. Jared Cook, tight ends did awful this week, so I'm not even going to complain about him. 4.3 since he's been bagging his tight end. He's Derek Carr's favorite target in my opinion, so caught 2 his 5 targets for 4.3 points. Pretty bad at 5,200, but no tight ends really did great. And then Packers D, I just needed to punt off D. Trubisky and turn it over when he throws. Didn't love it, but just punting off D. 137.96 enough to cash in one of the lowest scoring weeks, so not going to complain. I think it's a pretty solid cash team. Let me look who won. This guy got Tevin Coleman, Jordan Howard, and Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook goes really high on in tournaments. Yeah, just getting Falcons D pretty much allowed this guy to win. 32 points per 30% in this contest, pretty absurd. Sterling Shepard was 81%. That's crazy. Alright, let's move on to the Millie Maker where I have no idea. 16 teams. Okay, looks like I went lighter in the Millie this week. My best team got 599th, which not bad considering I only fired 16 teams. It was the 16th one. It was a Brady to Edelman team again with Dalvin Cook, Zeke, Joe Mixon. So no Samuels here. Wish I had Samuels over Zeke. Robert Foster, Sterling Shepard, Vance McDonald, Falcons D. Oh, this could have been such a sick team, man. Like, getting off Zeke would have been definitely possible because I wasn't that high on him in tournaments. Edelman could have easily gone over 100, and you almost caught a touchdown from Brady at the end there on the 4th down play. Sterling Shepard saw 9 targets. Oh, man, this could have been such a sick team. And Vance was one of the better tight ends in the week at only 3,900. Wow. And Falcons D, obviously, the highest scoring defense. Sheesh. I'm a little, I wish this could have won. What won? 206.44. Matt Ryan, obviously the highest scoring QB in the week, I believe. Mac, Mixon, Cook, amazing running back core. Mike Evans, Galladay, Julio, Rudolph, Falcons. Yeah, I mean, man, I think I could have won the Millie if this team ran a little differently. But let's see the next team. Wasn't even close to my highest scoring team, huh? Cook, Mixon, Coleman. Missed on wide receiver, huh? Yeah, went Juju, Edelman, Sterling, Jared Cook, 49ers. Yeah, you basically need the Falcons if you wanted to bink a GBP. Worst team. Kirk, Diggs with Zeke Samuels, Jeff Wilson. Lions, Jared Cook, Sterling Shepard, Godwin. Godwin got 0, sheesh. Yeah, I think Wilson's a mistake with Breida playing, but not the worst. Other than that, I think it's a fine team. Alright, let's move on to the final contest. This was the 60K Juke, 400 buy-in, 15K at first. I had 2 teams in this, 3 entry max. Ended up getting second, which was kind of a week saver a little bit. I still lost money in the week, obviously because it's Saturday, but made it not hurt as much. Getting second in this. Got absolutely, the first place person absolutely crushed, which is kind of absurd in a 3 max here. But I went Dalvin Cook, Mixon, Sam as my running backs. Amazing running back core there. Brady to Edelman with Robert Foster, T.Y. Hilton, Jared Cook, Steelers D. So obviously you needed Falcons D here. And then getting off Jared Cook for a cheaper tight end would have probably won me the contest. Let me see, national 13 would be 176. And then, no, I wouldn't have won still probably. But would have been a not much better score. I had this other contest too. First place just had the Falcons D, Evan Ingram, basically I think he was the highest scoring tight end. He was one of the highest scoring tight ends in the week. He might have been the highest. And then Julio, Galladay, Edelman, DJ, Carson, Matt Ryan. Carson really got there for him with obviously Matt Ryan being the highest scoring QB. So I'm not going to complain about second. My other team in this, min cashed, I believe, paid out 36 places, got 36th. So it's kind of running a bit good. Running back core is Mixon, Samuels. I played 2 running backs in this. Wow, that's a very bold roster construction choice by me. Let me try to think what I was thinking here. How much was Dede? 45. Oh yeah, I was thinking I wanted to get Thielen because I thought he could get like 35. I ended up getting 3.9, so that's pretty brutal. Yeah, that's what I was thinking going with construction like this. 4 wide receivers, man. So lucky this min cashed. 49ers D ended up getting 9 points at min, so. And having Robert Foster again was nice. Robert Foster came in pretty low at 7.7% and was one of the best wide receivers in the week, so pretty good at 4,300. Alright, so that's the week. Obviously, no Lamar Miller injury and would be pretty amazing week, but variance is a bitch. That's how it's going to go sometimes. Gotta keep grinding, gotta understand your process, and make sure you're improving every week. And if you did all that you could, then you just gotta understand that you can't win all the time and keep rolling out teams. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Follow me if not. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Other than that, have a great day.